Hello friends, my name is Behroz and welcome to my channel where I talk about career and financial success. Now in this video, I will talk about those 5 tips, 5 high ranking tips which you can use in order to land your job as fast as possible. The reason I came up with these tips were because many of my followers, they come to me and they ask me that they've been trying a lot, they've been giving a lot of interviews, have applied for multiple jobs, and despite having all the interviews that they're given, towards the end, like reaching to the end stage, they still are not getting the job that they want. What is that they are lacking? So after connecting with them, after studying them and what they were doing wrong, I figured out these are like 5 common factors which people get wrong, and because of that they are not able to land their dream job. Now these 5, they are equally important, but last one is my favorite, so I've kept it to the last, so you stay tuned till the end of this video. Now before moving forward, in case you find any value from this video, I have to ask for you. 1, press the like button as this keeps me motivated in producing similar content like this, and 2nd, press the subscribe button along with the bell icon so you get notified as soon as I put a new content on this channel. Remember, on this channel I post content pertaining to career and financial success. Both are very important for any individual to feel successful in their life, so please make sure you subscribe to the channel, as this also goes a long way in me continuing to produce content and also improving the quality of the content that I produce. Now let's get rolling back into the video. Now let me start with number 1. Number 1 is to make sure you prepare for the interview. There are many folks who I've seen either they're overconfident or they're just lazy, who go about saying, I know my work, I know what I do, I have the skills, I will just go in the interview and be myself. Well, you can be yourself. That's okay to be yourself. However, you need to be yourself with preparation. You cannot just be yourself without any preparation, assuming that you will just go there, they will ask you a bunch of questions, and you will just answer based on whatever you know. No, man. You have to prepare. And the reason I say this is primarily because the skills that you have for doing your work at your workplace, on your job, are far different from the skills that are required on the interview. I know it's an irony. I don't like it either, but this is how things are. People can't put you at test on the job. All they can do is judge you through an interview, and in order for you to ace the interview, the skills required are completely different. And let me give you an example. For instance, one skill required in an interview is having a conversation or communication skills. And maybe your communication skills are not that great, but otherwise your skills, your hard skills or other soft skills are like just amazing. You are the top ranking guy at your job. It's just that you don't get into conversations a lot or you don't communicate a lot. And guess what? At an interview, this is all you need to do. It is all about communication. That's it. You don't have to present or share your skills. Like, you share your skills, but you don't have to present them. You don't have to demonstrate them. Hence, it is very important that you prepare for this new skill that is required for you to ace the interview. And this is all I talk about on my channel, which is how you can get better at the skill of interviewing. So make sure you prepare. Now, with regards to preparation, there are multiple ways to prepare, but one common way to prepare is to look in your past history, in your past experience, and see what were the key highlights from your experience, from your past roles and jobs, and list them down. Make sure you have a list of those highlights with you, key projects that you've done with you, and then jog your memory as to what were the elements of those projects. Like, what was the context, what did you do in that project, then what were the actions you took, and then what were the results. This is called the CAR model, context, action, result. By the way, I've made a separate video on CAR model, or even which is sometimes referred as STAR model, which is situation, task, action, and result. You can check out that video. I will leave the link here. But here the key element is that you just need to go in prepared. Make sure you have those key highlights and make sure you know what to speak about and how to speak about those particular highlights that you've crafted for yourself before you're going in the interview. Tip number 2 is researching the company. Very important. You should be knowing the company you're going to interview for. What do they do? What are their brands? What are their operations? And more importantly, what is the job description looking for? What are they asking in the job description? There would be certain elements or certain skills that they would be looking in the job description. Make sure you understand what those skills and what those requirements are. Another thing you can do is, if you're able to pass the screening interview, make sure that you also ask the HR person who has contacted you as to what are you guys looking for? What are the skills you are looking for? So 1, make sure you read the job description, but also when you get a chance to connect with the recruiter, also ask them the same question. Now, It may be very obvious. They can just say, look at the job description. So you can elaborate more. You say, I have read the job description, I understand the job description. However, I just want to hear from you if there are 1 or 2 or 3 elements that you want to highlight which are utmost important for this particular individual that you're hiring for this role. Can you tell me what they are? And they'll give you those 1 or 2 key nuggets which you need to know or which you need to play on when you go through the hiring process. So make sure you research the company. Also the industry, if it's a different industry you're going, it would be nice for you to have some idea of the industry. You don't need to show yourself as an expert, either on the company or the industry. All you need to do is tell them that you've done the homework. That's it. As long as you can tell them that you've done the homework, that is enough, because it shows that you had determination and you're serious about the job versus just saying, I don't know what your company does. I have never read about your company, but I know the task that you're looking for because I've read the job description. That is not enough. You've read the job description, you know what they're looking for, you know your skills match, good. But what operations they have, what are their brands, what business do they have, what are their strategies? It is always good to read something. You can find a lot of data, a lot of information on Google for this particular task. So make sure you research on the company before you go and sit in the interview. Number 3 mistake that I've seen people make is they just share things that they do or things that they have responsibility for, and that's it. No, my friend, you have to talk more. You just can't talk about a particular project and just say, yes, I delivered X number of growth, or yes, I delivered X million dollars worth of productivity. No, you have to give more details, because they are not actually looking for the key highlights. They are looking for the process. Do you know how to follow the process? Now, this is a typical behavioral interview question which may come, which is like, tell me about a time when something happened and how do you react, or how did you react or work around that particular issue, or how did you show your leadership, and whatever it may be. By the way, on behavioral interview, I've made a separate video. You can check it out here. But talking about such questions, I've seen many people, they just go about stating what they've done, like what they've achieved. That's it. Like, I've achieved X million dollars of saving and that's it. No, you have to talk about how did you go about achieving it. Because when you will go about joining their organization, that particular situation that you had in the past will not be repeated. It will be a completely new situation. All they want to know is whether you can apply the formula that you used to solve the situation you had previously. The same formula, can you apply it again in their organization? So you have to talk about that process, that formula that you use in order to deliver the key achievements or the key highlights that you've achieved in your career. Now, 4th mistake, which is very, very important, and this is the mistake that I've done as well, and I see a lot of people doing it, which is going for speed over accuracy. When someone asks you a question in an interview, there's pressure to answer immediately, because you think that if I don't answer immediately, they would think that I'm not prepared or I don't know the answer. So there is an urgency to reply ASAP, even if you've not understood the question fully or you don't have a clear answer for that particular question, because it is slightly different versus what you were expecting. And now you are just trying to speak first and think later. So you start speaking first and then you're thinking, and then you make a mistake in the answer and you're not too good, or the quality of answer is not good. Here's the $1 million tip. Remember, no one is looking for speed. No one is looking for speed. They're looking for accuracy. They're looking for a quality answer. So here are 2 tips I will give you, which are like the best tips I've ever given, and they work for everyone. One is, ask them, can I take some time to structure my thoughts? When you say this, it will be magic. Now, this serves 2 purposes. One is, it will give them an indication that you're someone who's thoughtful. Like, you won't just go about saying anything which comes to your mind. Rather, you want to give it a thought before you say it or deliver it. So you're a thoughtful person. And second, it gives you time. It gives you time to think about the question that is asked. Now, don't take forever, like take something which is around 45 seconds or less than a minute, but that should be enough for you to structure your answer and then deliver it. And strategy number 2 is to ask the interviewer, can you explain more? Can you elaborate more? Can you give me an example as to what you are asking for? What this does is it puts pressure back on the interviewer, because now the interviewer thinks that they did not give you a clear question, or the question was not clear enough, or they did not deliver the question well enough, and now they feel pressured. So they want to do everything to explain you exactly what they meant and what is the answer they're looking for. So either they will give you an example, or they will go to lengths to elaborate what they were looking for, and by doing so they will actually give you the answer. So they'll give you a few nuggets in their question. You can use those nuggets and then deliver your answer. So it serves 2 purposes. One, it gives you time, because as the interviewer is speaking, you get time to think. And second, it gives you nuggets which the interviewer will be sharing with you just because they're trying to elaborate and help you understand more as to what were they trying to ask. Number 5, and this is my favorite. People think, or interviewees think, that when they're going in an interview, it is a Q&A session. Interviewer will be asking a question and they have to answer. Question, answer. No, it's a communication segment. It's a conversation segment. You are there to have a conversation. Now, of course, the conversation is about you. You are sharing your experiences, but it should come across as a conversation as against question and answers. Because if it's question and answer, it would be very robotic. People hire people who they like working with. You want the interviewer to go out of the interview and say, this guy didn't have all the skills, but he was fun or she was fun to talk to and would be fun to work with. And I would like to work with such an individual who doesn't have all the skills, but I know I can train them. They are coachable and they are fun to work with. And hence I want to hire such an individual because they would be a great person. Remember, when they're hiring you, they're not hiring you to deliver anything alone. You will be working as part of the team. And they want to hire someone who can gel in with the team, who can collaborate well, and who's good to work with. So you have to come across as someone who's good to work with. And that is only possible if you go in a conversation mode. Like when they ask you, tell me if you have any questions for us. Ask good questions. I have made a separate video on that. You can check it out. I'll leave the link here, also in the description of this video. When they ask you to introduce yourself, don't just run down through your resume. Give your personality as well. Tell them who you are. Give them what kind of characteristics or attitude you bring to the work as well. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully after watching this video, you have an idea of what 5 mistakes not to make. I've seen many individuals making these 5 mistakes and they fall into crisis mode in their interview and eventually not end up getting the job that they want or they deserve. In case you found value in this video, I'm sure you'll find value in another video where I talk about how you can go about introducing yourself. You can check it out here. Other than that, there is another video where I talk about what kind of reverse interview questions you can ask in an interview. You can check it out here. Thank you.